Welcome to Topper Talk, your number one Western Kentucky athletics podcast. I'm your host, Stephen Moffitt, and I'm joined by co-host Tyler Bailey. Hilltopper Nation, whether it's happening on the hill or on the road, grab those red towels, stand up and cheer, because it's up next on Topper Talk. All right, thank you for downloading and listening to another episode of the Topper Talk podcast. We are the official podcast of the Red Towel Trust Collective, and also the official WKU representative of the College Huddle podcast community. As always, follow us on all our social medias, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. Just search Topper Talk. You'll find us there. Follow along for everything we're posting and sharing. And this podcast is sponsored by the Fireman Moving Company. They are the official moving company of WKU Athletics. Not only can they be trusted to move all the coaches in and out of Western, but they can move you anywhere nationwide. The Fireman Moving Company is owned and operated by firemen and is founded by WKU alumni. If you're looking to move sometime soon, give them a call at 270-791-1755 and get yourself a free quote. Got Tyler here with me, man, ready to jump into a big, kind of a spring winding down recap episode.
Yeah, man, let's get into it, boy.
And before we jump into the main segment of the episode, we have to get caught up, with our Red Towel wrap-up, which is, as always, sponsored by Trent Bedding Company. So let's get a word from Trent Bedding.
Don't forget your headboard, pillows, and your sheets. We got everything you need for a good night's sleep. Number one on the same check, best of Bowling Green.
All right. Hey! Twin, full, queen, and king. Mattresses for anything. Come and pick it out and we can bring it to your house. Have you sleeping real good before the weekend's out. Trent Bedding. It's just like a mattress store. Hey.
Gosh. All right. Let's open it up with WKU Softball versus UTEP. They won game 1 5-3, won game 2 6-2, lost game 3 2-7. So we still win the series. Ends regular season 31-19-1 and 16-8 in Conference USA play.
Yeah, the last series of the regular season for softball, obviously ending on a strong note. 31-19 overall in the season. That's a really good win-loss record, and then 16-8 in Conference USA play. Again, really good. We'll take that. We enter the Conference USA tournament as the number 2 seed, and I know we've got a lot more to talk about with softball.
We sure do. Taylor Sanders named Conference USA pitcher of the week. Rylan Smith named freshman of the week. Taylor Sanders broke the career RBI mark with 179 and counting.
Yeah, Taylor Sanders, player of the week. She's a monster. She broke the all-time RBI mark here at Western. She'd already broken the home run mark just a week or two ago. So just adding to the record books, cementing her status and legacy as an all-timer here at Western in softball. And then Rylan Smith being named freshman of the week. It's nice to see kind of both ends of the spectrum, see senior and freshman both getting recognized because there's a lot of talent on this team. 2 seed, they won a lot of games, so congratulations to both of them.
Now moving on to WKU baseball versus UNC Asheville. They lost game 1 2-3. Game 2 was canceled because of weather and lost game 3 1-2.
Yeah, this series was just kind of an odd one. There was a bear sighting in the bullpen at one point in this game. I think their press box was like pop-up tents. It was just a really odd setup and just felt like a weird atmosphere and series for us to be playing this late in the season. And didn't turn out well for us. Lost both of the games that we did play. They were both close games, 2-3 and 1-2, with one of the games being canceled due to weather. So, baseball had been pretty hot here at the end of the season. We lost a game to Louisville just a couple weeks ago, and now we lose this series to UNC Asheville. So, we need to bounce back, and I think we do a little bit here later.
Addie Westbrook, she was named All-Conference USA second team in women's golf. Catie Craig and Sarah Arnold named first team. And Coach Adam Gary was named Coach of the Year.
Yeah, the women's golf team had a spectacular spring. I know we're about to touch more on that here in a minute, but congratulations to Addie Westbrook, second teamer, and then Catie Craig and Sarah Arnold, first teamers. Every single event that they were in, we talked about all three of those. Then Coach Adam Gary, he won his 11th tournament while he's been coach here at Western, which is the most for any coach in the program history. So congratulations to all of them on the accolades.
Well, keeping it right here with women's golf, NCAA East Regional, Catie Craig, she finished 58th in the field, tying her sister Caroline that plays for Indiana University. Overall, the team finished with 2 victories and 9 top 3 finishes in 10 spring events. Next, Catie will team up with her sister at a women's USGA 4-ball event in San Antonio, Texas. Best of luck, Catie and Caroline.
Yeah, just really cool, that Catie Craig got invited to the NCAA Regional. She was an automatic qualifier for that and finished 58th in what was just a really strong field of, NCAA women's golfers. So, don't hang your head, be proud. You definitely had a great and historic season, 2 victories as a team this year and 9 top 3 finishes in 10 spring tournaments. You can't gloss over that in any way, shape, or form. This team had a really, really, really solid spring showing and season. And that's why our team, had several people on the first, second team. Coach was named Coach of the Year. And Catie went to the NCAA Regionals. Just a really top to bottom strong team. And then it's pretty cool that Catie tied with her sister, Caroline. I see them tagging each other a lot on Instagram when they, are playing in their separate tournaments, recognizing each other, how they're doing. Pretty cool that they both tied for 58th in this event. And now, they're going and they're teaming up for a USGA 4-ball event down in San Antonio. So that's just pretty cool for everyone involved. And, love to see it and go Tops.
Now, moving on to baseball, and with a little touch of softball there at the end. WKU baseball midweek versus Bellarmine absolutely took them to the woodshed to a tune of what WKU victory took them, beat them 14-2. Absolutely domination. I'm surprised it wasn't like that scene from Rambo. I think it's 2 or 3 whenever the coach is over there in the corner, like, just throw in the towel. But, good butt kicking from the Tops. WKU softball, the Conference USA tournament started Wednesday. WKU opens play Thursday as a 2 seed against the winner of La Tech and UTEP. That game. All games on ESPN Plus, championship game on CBS Sports Network.
Yeah, nice to see the baseball Tops get back on track. After that loss to Louisville last week, and then the weekend series to UNC Asheville that didn't go how they liked. Nice to get back in the groove of things and just, like you said, just took Bellarmine to the woodshed, run ruled them. 14-2 was a pretty convincing and dominating victory. And then the Conference USA Softball Championship Tournament is ongoing as we speak. WKU enters as a 2 seed, and they will play tomorrow. I believe it's at 3:30 Eastern. And if I'm not mistaken, Louisiana Tech won that game against UTEP, so they'll be playing La Tech. The game will be on ESPN Plus if you're so inclined to tune in to watch it. Support our girls. They've had a really solid season coming in as 2 seed. I'm sure Katie Gardner will be pitching that. She was named Pitcher of the Year. So that's going to be a tough game for Louisiana Tech. I feel sorry for them. I like our chances of advancing. So good luck, softball, and go Tops again.
Now, moving on to some more accolades for the softball team. Katie Gardner, like you said, was named Pitcher of the Year. TJ Webster named Defensive Player of the Year. All freshman team include Morgan Sharp, Rylan Smith, and Annie White. Conference USA first team was pitcher Katie Gardner, infielder TJ Webster, and infielder Taylor Sanders. Conference USA second team included catcher Randy Drennan and infielder Morgan Sharp.
Yeah, just, again, a lot of solid accolades. We had the Pitcher of the Year and the Defensive Player of the Year. Just a really, really solid showing for our team. and several of our players on the postseason awards. Then all freshman team, I think we were the only team that had 3 players on that list. Same with the first team. We were the only team that had 3 players on that list. And then also had a couple on the second team. So I think it was 8 total players that were recognized. And just goes to show, that 31-19, 16-8 in Conference USA play, 2 seed, not an accident by any means. There's a lot of talent on this team. Love to see it. And again, I really like their chances in this Conference USA tournament. They're going to be a tough out. There's talent up and down this lineup.
Well, I say let's go win another championship. Why not? Moving on to WKU basketball. They announced the hiring of Josh Newman as an assistant coach. He was previously at Pacific University and brings 26 years of coaching experience with him to the Hill. Second coaching hire announced following the hiring of Eric Murphy on April the 30th.
Yeah, so on paper right now, all the staffing positions are filled. As long as there are no other changes, no one else leaves and goes somewhere else. Obviously with Hank Plona being elevated to head coach, and then Robert Guster followed Coach Lutz to Oklahoma State. So we had 2 positions that we need to fill on the coaching staff. We're assuming at this point that Tim McAllister and Martin Cross are staying on staff. We've not heard anything otherwise. So we've hired officially Eric Murphy a couple weeks ago. We talked about that. We announced that here on the podcast. And then just a few days ago, they officially announced Josh Newman being brought on. And hearing Coach Plana talk about them, they're 2 very experienced and high-level coaches that have good relationships with their players, a lot of connections in the college basketball world. They've been in this area before, and should really bring a lot of just coaching knowledge and experience to this staff for Coach Plona's first year as head coach here at Western. Obviously from Indian Hills, he was there 8 years, but now coming up to the Division I level, 4-year schools, a little bit different. We need strong recruiters, strong assistant coaches, and he's been known even during his time at Indian Hills. He had a lot of guys on his staff that have gone on from those teams and are at 4-year colleges coaching now. So he's really good at identifying talent, and I have no reason to question these guys that he's brought on. They definitely have a ton of experience, and I look forward to them helping us continue the winning tradition that we got back on track this last season.
That's right, because it was way too long of a drought for us. So I'm glad. Hopefully, these new coaches can help us get back to that NCAA tournament berth again. Moving on to the WKU football, Malachi Corley, or Pro Tops, will be wearing number 17 in camp with the New York Jets. Cornerback Anthony Johnson, who had previously entered the transfer portal, withdrew his name, and Davian Williams earned a rookie minicamp invite with the Atlanta Falcons, old Dirty Birds.
Yeah, Malachi, he's kind of been, it feels like, or at least on my timeline, he's kind of been the talk of, the draft, one of the steals. The Steve Smith hype train has continued. We've seen the interview with Malachi talking about being invited to Aaron Rodgers' guest room and guest house and planning on staying with him and just developing that relationship, getting on the same page with him, picking his brain as a professional and just trying to get better as a player. So, saw his number officially being announced as number 17, got to see him in some practice reps, just out there catching balls. So really happy and excited for Malachi. And then obviously cornerback Anthony Johnson, he had 4 interceptions this past season, really was kind of a breakout player on the defensive side of the ball with as many injuries as we had. Previously was in the transfer portal, but decided to withdraw his name and come back. So, that's been the case with several players over the last few years. Just because they enter that portal does not mean they're gone. Sometimes they're just seeing what's out there, seeing who else may be interested, what they're offering, where else maybe they could go. But Coach Helton and staff always do a really good job at leaving that door open, coaching them and giving them advice on what may be the best move for them, and just leaving that door open for if they decide or want to come back, that option is here and available for him. And we're glad that he did, because he's going to be, definitely just a big and solid contributor to this defense here in 2024. And then Davion Williams earning a rookie minicamp invite to the Atlanta Falcons. Love to see that. We've had several guys, Marquis Stepp, Nante, now Davion, Austin Reed had an undrafted free agent signing. We had several guys, after the draft with only Malachi drafted, they got some camp invites. So, that's your chance, whether you can make a roster or make a practice squad, or just have more film potentially out there that, maybe you go to one of these other professional leagues that are out there. So great opportunity for him and for all the Hilltoppers that are, getting those opportunities in the NFL right now to go earn a job. That's what this is. It's a job interview. It's a job tryout. And, you're starting from zero. Go put it on the field and earn your spot if you want to get there. So I'm really happy and excited for all those guys.
And that concludes the Red Towel Wrap-Up, brought to you by the Trent Bedding Company. Moth, back to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Short and sweet episode. Just a Red Towel Wrap-Up episode. Just kind of winding down the spring sports. We've talked about track and field a lot this spring. They've come to the conclusion of their regular season. They do have their conference championships coming up. I think it's on the 10th through the 12th, so this coming weekend. The softball championships are ongoing now as we speak. They start today. WKU playing tomorrow, like we stated as we record. Golf has ended, and then the baseball Conference USA championships is at the end of May. So we're really getting to the end of the spring season, the spring sports that are going. And then we're going to hit a dead period, the end of May into June and July, with basically no sports. So, but we'll still be here. We'll still be talking WKU. We're lining up, hopefully some potential interviews and just people that are relevant to WKU sports and athletics, whether it's currently players or administration or even former players, that hopefully can join us and just talk about their time on the Hill. Just anything they want to talk about. We just want to continue to bring coverage and highlight our student athletes all summer. Take no days off. Last year, we did kind of get in a little bit of we missed 4 or 5 weeks, I think it was, due to some vacations, etc. But this year, hopefully we can do better. We're trying to line those up now, and just kind of fill this dead time with hopefully some interesting interviews, some people that are relevant to the fans, and the fans hopefully want to hear from and just know more about. Really looking forward to kind of going into a different segment of this show, and not always talking active sports, because we're going to have a couple months of dead time, but we're going to fill that the best we can with hopefully interesting content. And I'm here for it as always. We do still have a couple more episodes of spring sports as they wind down the championship, softball, baseball, and track and field. Obviously, we'll recap those as they happen. And Tyler, that's all I've got. Give us your final words and take us on out of here.
Yeah, as a sports fan, always in the end of May, June, July. Really, I could never find no podcast to really fill that Western athletics space that needs filling. So I'm glad that we're going to be here to help the people out, because the interviews are going to be entertaining. As always, and hopefully insightful, and let the listeners and the fans know what is going on and what people people think, and even some of the past tops come in and speak about their experience and their time on the Hill, because that is important to hear and to listen to. Also, I wanted to say, I hope the people listening, I hope you didn't have much hail damage or wind damage. Hopefully it was just you got all rain and maybe some pretty lights in the sky like I have right here looking out my window. But yeah, I hope softball goes through and just runs through Conference USA, in the tournament. Hoping a few weeks the baseball team does. Hope track and field has a great weekend coming up. And, that's what we do here at Western. We win championships and we get banners, we get rings, we get all the accolades. It's awesome that the softball team had so many players named to first team, second team. And yeah, Catie Craig, you had a great golf season. You had a great spring. Go on and do great things in that upcoming USGA event. And with that, I will say, Moff, who has it better than us, man?
Nobody, buddy. Always. You know.
Nobody.
Go Tops.
Go Tops, y'all.
Later, guys.
See you.
On Topper Talk.